Welcome back to the Fit to Survive channel. So today I'm going to be hopefully showing you for the first time the Nitecore Tiny 3. So Nitecore has just released this today, and so super excited to get to show this to you. So I've been testing this for a little while now, and I'm very impressed with this little flashlight. It is super compact. I mean, literally the size of my thumb, all right? So super small, fits great on your keychain. It is, of course, an upgrade from the Tiny 2. So mine is their 15th anniversary limited edition. That's why it's looks like it's gold plated and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, they've actually upgraded quite a few things here. Of course, the brightness, the battery, all that kind of good stuff. But one of the things that really impressed me is their new LEDs they're using. It's what they call a 4-core multicolor temperature LED. So basically what that means is when you have this powered on, you go and set this to a high setting. Let's see right there. You can press and hold down both buttons, and it takes you now to a warm white light. Do it again, you have a cool white. Once more, you're at a neutral. And so what that means is basically those LEDs, they have like 4 little like squares on each one of them that lets you choose between the warm, the cool, or a mixture to make it a neutral. And so very well thought out. I like the different temperatures of the white light. I think that's brilliant to have it all on one flashlight. So the Tiny 3 now has a 600 lumen turbo, which is nice and bright. And talking of which, let's go ahead and go outside right now, and I'll show you the brightness, and I'll also show you the different color temperatures outside, and then we'll continue with the review from there. All right, for this light test, we're going to be using the cool white, and so this is the 1 lumen. So basically the moonlight mode there. All right, then 15 lumens. Yeah, 65. 200. And then the turbo at 600 lumens. And that is really impressive for a keychain size flashlight. All right, and then if we look at the different colors, this is the cool white, this is the neutral, and that's the warm. I'm sure you noticed the OLED display here has a lot of important information that it can display. Now, if you notice this flickering, it's just the frame rate of the OLED. It's kind of messing with my camera. So anyways, you press that once, you get the battery status, and then when it's turned on, it's going to tell you how many lumens it has on that setting, how many minutes or hours, depending on which setting you're on. So let's say we're down at 1 lumen. You actually have 53 hours, 55 minutes on the lowest setting. So that's really cool that it has that information. Another cool thing is whenever you press this button once, you press it again, you can pre-select which setting you want. And so let's say your eyes are just to the dark and you don't want a bright setting. You can actually scroll through here and make sure you choose a low setting before you turn it on. It does have mode memory, but once again, I don't always remember, was I on my bright setting last time or a low setting? So being able to go in and select the setting before you turn it on, and I think is a really brilliant idea. Again, very simple, but definitely a very intuitive and well thought out user interface here on this Tiny 3. So other than that, also, you can use that to get some extra information. So for example, let's say you're in a lockout, right? So you press and hold down the power button until you get the lockout. It's a semi-lockout and the full lockout. Then you want to turn it on and you don't remember the combination. It's going to tell you right there. So to unlock it, you press the 2 buttons together. So once again, you don't have to worry about forgetting the combination of which buttons to push to unlock it because the OLED is going to give you that information for you. So again, just really well thought out. I like the simplicity of it. So anyways, I think one disadvantage of the OLED screen is this only has an IP54 waterproof rating. And so that's like maybe good for a light rain. You definitely don't want to soak the flashlight. And again, I'm just assuming it's because of that screen. I don't know that for sure. So anyways, other than that, this has an aluminum body, nice and lightweight. Again, it's what you want on a keychain. Literally the flashlight is super small, super lightweight. It does have Type-C charging, which we've come to expect basically from flashlights. It has a built-in 330 milliamp hour battery, which again, is going to be more than enough for a small flashlight like this. As you saw already, like on the 1 lumen, you have literally like 50 some odd hours. So anyways, definitely more than enough, depending on how much you use it and how bright of a setting you use. It should last you quite a while. All right, so I personally love the setup. I love the design. I like keychain flashlights because it's something that I'm going to have with me. Like a medium-sized flashlight or a large flashlight. A lot of times when I need a flashlight, they're not close by, right? Whereas this, on your keys, you have access to a nice bright flashlight. And so I personally really like the design. So this comes in a black, gray, or an orange. So it's kind of cool they have some different colors. So let me know what you guys think about this flashlight, the overall setup, the size, the design, having that OLED display, if that's something that you like, or maybe you think it's maybe unnecessary. I know a lot of people like just the buttons and find the OLED unnecessary. Personally, I really like having that OLED display on there. So anyways, definitely let me know your thoughts about this. I'll have this links to it down in the description of the video. And so this is going for $40 right now. Like I said, Nitecore has just released it today. And so one of their new arrivals. So anyways, be sure to pick that up if you're interested in it, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.